Yes. In the previous session, we discussed on task analysis inventory, where we identified various tasks and prepared an inventory of it, and a questionnaire was given to the respondents, that is, the people who are doing or performing that job, or the people who are what I can say, who are supervisors on that particular job and all. So the questionnaire is given, and they are supposed to get it filled and get it back, and the data which is generated through that questionnaire will be analyzed. The similar kind of one more technique which is based on questionnaire is this position analysis questionnaire. This method is also called as PAQ method. Okay, PAQ method, or it is also called as PAQ form C method. Okay, so this is one more name which is given to this method. So this position analysis questionnaire, it is a standard questionnaire given by researchers. Okay, so with a kind of research being done for almost 35 years in the area of job analysis, this PAQ, that is position analysis questionnaire, was being prepared. So a lot of time was invested here in bringing out this questionnaire. Okay, so as the name itself tells you, it analyzes the position, a job position in the organization. Okay, so this questionnaire is a copyrighted questionnaire, and it can be used for various types of jobs. It is just not prepared keeping in mind only one type of job or one group of jobs, right? So if you just start naming, we can name thousands of job positions. Okay, the same questionnaire, little bit of modification can be used for all these thousand job positions. Okay, so that is the wonder of this questionnaire. So it is a copyrighted questionnaire. If the companies would like to use that questionnaire, they have to compulsorily buy it from the people who are in charge of it. It is developed through lot of analysis, lot of research, with keeping in mind a wide spectrum of jobs. Okay, so when this questionnaire was being designed, it was designed in such a manner that it suits various types of jobs, just not one or two jobs. Okay, so that is the wonder of this position analysis questionnaire method. So very interestingly, one thing is, it is a very, very lengthy questionnaire. You know how many items are there in this questionnaire? The questionnaire has 194 items in it. Okay, that is 194 statements or questions in it, right? So that is why I told you it is a very, very lengthy questionnaire. And these 194 items or statements or questions or whatever we call them, they are divided into 6 divisions. What these 6 divisions are, I will just tell you in a few seconds. They are divided into 6 divisions. In 194 items, 187 items are related to, the statements are related to work activities and work situation. The other 7 questions or statements are related to compensation aspects of the job. So when compensation comes into picture, now you should understand that job evaluation comes into picture here. Okay, so a very good thing or benefit of this technique is, it will help you to design a job description, it will help you to design a job specification, and it will also help you to understand the job evaluation, that is worth of the job in the organization. So all 3 purposes can be solved using this method of job analysis. Okay, so what are these 6 divisions, right? So those 194 items, they have been defined or classified into these 6 divisions, right? So these 6 divisions are information input, mental processes, work output, relationship with other persons, job context, and other job characteristics. So what are all these things? Okay, so every job which has to be performed, it needs some or the other information. Hope you all agree. Now you have to reply with me, because if it is if whenever I ask questions, if any one of you don't reply, I feel that you people are sleeping. Yes, the question is simple. uh, for every job, some or the other information is needed to perform or not.
Needed, ma'am.
Yes, right. So, based on the job or nature of the job, the intensity of the information changes. I'll just tell you how. If the person is at a very lower level in the organization, the information he needs is very basic. That kind information can be instructions by the supervisor. Information can be let us say he is a contract labor and he is working on a construction site. How much cement has to be mixed with how much sand, right? This is the basic information he needs. But whereas the engineer of that building, he needs more information. He needs what should be the length of the brick, what should be the width of the brick, what should be the size of the wall, what should be the facilities given in the building, right? Each and every single aspect the engineer should be knowing here. So the information input the engineer which needs is more intense compared to a labor class person. Okay, so the same thing happens in organizations also. Let us say there is a software engineer. What is his job? His job is only to design softwares or develop softwares, right? The information input he needs is totally different and less complex compared to the information needed for a vice president of the IT company. Because the person sitting as a vice president there, he makes important decisions which affect the company's performance. Okay, so he needs very complex, valuable, good quality information which on based on which he is supposed to take decisions. Okay, so every job you take, any name a job, there is a information needed. Let us take my own job as a lecturer. I also need information, guys. I need information related to when is my class. I need information related to my inputs for the class. I sit and study subjects because I have to be prepared. If I don't, I read the information. If I don't get that knowledge, I will not be able to pass it on to you. So I also need information to perform my job. Okay, so every job, if you take it into consideration, it needs information, but the complexity of the information changes from job to job, right? The lower class people may need less and simple information. Higher level employees may need more complex and valuable information on which they can take decisions, right? So the first category of the questions or statements which you can find in position analysis questionnaire are related to information input. Any doubts on this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
No,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Then second category of statements which you find in this position analysis questionnaire, they are mental processes. Okay, so here in when it comes to mental processes, to what extent you are using your thinking capacity in the job. Okay, so that comes into picture here. Reasoning, decision making, planning, information processing activities that are involved in performing the job are nothing but your mental processes. Okay, so to what extent you are using your mind, your brain, and think and then take a decision or plan something, all are nothing but they are related to this mental processes. Let us say a sweeper, does he need to use his mental ability compared to a software engineer?
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, so he is not supposed to, the a sweeper is not supposed to use much of his brain when it comes to using it in his job. But whereas an IT engineer, he has to be very careful because he is developing some software here. His mental processes are more complex, his mental processes are more involved as compared to a speaker here. So there are some questions in this questionnaire which tell about to what extent you use your mental ability to take your decisions or to plan something when you are working in the organization. Then the third category is work output. Okay, so out of 194 questions, the third category of statements are work related output. So here in work output, this talks about the physical activities, the tools and devices which are used by the worker to perform the job. Okay, so hope you all have seen a watch repairer. Have you visited a
Yes,
watch
ma'am.
repairer?
Yes,
He will be
Yes,
fixing,
ma'am.
yeah, he'll be fixing one lens in his eyes and he will be seeing the watch. Have you seen it?
yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that tool, what he is using, no, it is a kind of a precision tool. Precision tool means a very minute things he is observing and he is working and repairing the watches there. Okay. So without that lens, without that magnifying glass, he will not be able to repair the watches because there are minute parts of the watches which can be easily visible using those magnifying glasses. So for every job to be done, sometimes you need some devices or tools, okay, or some physical activity is needed. So what to what extent the physical activities are involved in the job? To what extent the tools are required in the job? To what extent the devices are required in the job so that the worker performs his job properly? So related to this, there are around few questions in this 194 set of questions. Okay, so I will be taking one example and later explaining it to you people. But first, let us understand these 6 divisions. Okay, so information input talks about where and how worker gets information so that it can help him to perform his job. Second is mental processes, where his reasoning skills, decision making abilities, planning and information processing activities are involved. Third is work output, which talks about physical activities, tools and devices needed by the worker to perform the job. So third set of questions. Now, fourth set of questions or statement. Don't, I'm saying it again and again, it is just not questions. They can be statements also. Okay, so just a simple statement may also be there in the questionnaire. Don't think that questionnaire means everywhere you have to use a questionnaire only with question mark. No, some statements are also there where you have to give the rating for them. So fourth category is relationship with the other persons in the organization. So whether you need good relationship with other persons in the organization or what when you are working in the when you are working in your job. So that is also being checked here, right? Let us say if you are a marketing salesperson, relationship with other persons means a lot for a marketing salesperson. But when you take a finance person, relationship with other persons, it does not make so much of sense or it is not so important because he will be only working with numbers on the computers. Okay, talking to other people, maintaining good relationship with other people, it does not matter much when it comes to a finance job. But again, when you talk about HR job, relationship matters because HR department will be dealing with people here, humans, that is sensitivity here, right? So humans are sensitive with emotions. So you will be dealing with those emotions here. Their relationships matter. So the fourth category of statements talk about to what extent you need to maintain relationship with other people so that you can perform your job better. That is the fourth category. Then fifth category talks about physical and social context in which the work is performed. That is nothing but the job context. Physical context means, I'll give a simple example. It is the environment, physical environment. Okay, so let us say if you are supposed to work in an iron factory. Okay, like Zindal is a company which mainly manufactures steel. So there, the physical context is you are supposed to work in a place where the temperature goes up to very high level heat. Okay, so that is a physical context, right, where the temperature is very high and you are supposed to work in such kind of a context, physical context. But when it comes to social context, whether you are working with too many number of people, whether you are supposed to work alone, okay, so that will be considered here. So job context, and in this job context you have physical as well as social context. So to what extent you are supposed to work with other people as a team. See, there are jobs in companies which require team effort. There are jobs in companies where individually you are supposed to perform. Okay, so that is being discussed in the job context here. Then the last category is other job related characteristics. So here is where a little bit of compensation related statements are being involved, and also some other special things which any company would like to add can be added in this sixth option, right? So 194 items are designed, but the last category, there is a chance for the companies to change the statements or questions based on their own requirements. Okay, if any company wants to have some special requirements, they can manipulate the questionnaire of PAQ in this sixth category. If they want something is missing, they feel, and they want to add it or anything like that, in this sixth category they can add it. Or else, as it is, 194 items can be taken and the questionnaire can be given to the people to fill. So if at all the company wants to bring out some changes in the questionnaire, it can happen only in this sixth category. Okay, so these are the 6 divisions or sections which you can find in position analysis questionnaire. So total of 194 questions you can find in this position analysis questionnaire. Now, till now, any doubts?
No doubts, ma'am.
Anybody is having any doubts, please?
Ma'am, in this questionnaire, as you said, there will be even true or false statement also.
No, there is a scaling. Next section, I'll be dealing about that. There is nothing like true or false. There is a particular scale given in the questionnaire. That scale I'll discuss now.
Sure.
But before going to that scale, you have to understand these aspects first.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, anybody else? Fine with it? Yes, there is a standard questionnaire of 194 questions. If at all the companies want to customize or include something new, some new statements or anything, they can do it in the sixth division here. Okay, which are relevant to the job or the company or anything like that. Such kind of questions can be included in the sixth category. So now, you know how many questionnaire or statements are there and how many divisions are made in that 194 questions. Now, let us understand what kind of scale is being used here to rate or to fill that questionnaire. Okay, and before going ahead with that, it is very mandatory that minimum of college level understanding is required by the respondent if he or she is supposed to fill this questionnaire. Okay, as the questionnaire has 194 questions, it is a bit complex to understand, and for that reason minimum college level qualification is required to fill this questionnaire. So this is the scale which is being used. Two types of scales will be used here, guys. Okay, one scale is, it talks about extent of use, amount of time, importance of the job, possibility of occurrence, applicability, and special code. I'll tell you what all these things are. Then the second rating, it includes 0 to 5. That is 0 stands for does not apply, 5 stands for extreme. So how this scale works, how it is being used, that is what we are going to discuss. Hardly 5 minutes is left, guys. There will be a disconnectivity in the class. So what we will do is, I will stop this meeting and let us all rejoin this meeting once again with the same code. Is it fine with you all?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Then
Okay,
rejoin.
ma'am.
Okay.